Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Aletta and today we are doing another speed build, but this time of a waterfall walkway. I'm excited to show you all how this build came out. There's so much terraforming and time traveling I had to do, so let's jump right into the build here. I was very happy that Flick was on the island right away because I've been wanting to get an orchid mantis model from him, but I only had 2 in my inventory, so I went and caught a 3rd one and gave them all to him so that we'll have that in the mail soon. And Gulliver was also here, so we'll see what he sends us later and if it knocks our flippers off or not. He's been giving me clothing items, so we'll see. But yeah, the first thing I had to do for the build was demolish the very first log bridge that we have to build in order to progress. And we put that by the left river mouth, and that's where I want the main waterfall of the build to be, so we had to get rid of that. And if you didn't know, this island is archipelago core, so we want lots of islands and waterfalls around. We also had a campsite villager pretty early on here, and it was another lion. We had Leopold last time, but this time we said hi to Lionel here. I think it might be cool to have a lion villager. I'm not sure which one. I did like that Leopold had green hair, so maybe if we see him again we can ask him to move the island. Honestly, I should have let him switch with Sterling, because we're gonna do a castle build on one of the islands, but oh well, you know. So we don't end up decorating this area over here today, but I know that I want a spot on the island for a scenery lookout, and I thought this would be a good place since the hybrid flowers on the cliffs won't be there after we breed them all. So I pick up all the fencing and flowers from the garden build we did a while ago, and I just moved most of the flowers to the beach so they don't take over the island. I'm sure we have lots to pick up on the cliffs already from the mums that came with the island. And then Patty did ask to leave, and I ended up saying yes, even though we got her pretty recently in a villager hunt, and I'm going to miss her, but I wanted to go villager hunting again. And we also have Audie, who is a peppy villager like she is. So the next video will most likely be a villager hunt, so make sure to turn notifications on and subscribe so you don't miss it. I love villager hunting. But yeah, it is the next day in game here, so the original bridge is gone and we can start clearing the area by the left river mouth here. I start by knocking down some trees. I probably should have kept a couple since I ended up planting more later on, but that's okay, we needed some wood anyways. And then I did some cliff building since I knew I wanted that waterfall right here. So yeah, this build is right by the museum tent as well, so I try to keep some space open for that since we'll probably be doing a build for that soon, since it's between the build we're doing today and the entrance build we did pretty recently. So it's going to be a small area to decorate, so let me know if you have any ideas for it. We could keep it as a mini museum or a research tent, or maybe have a small archaeologist site. I've seen people do things like that. Something revolving the tent at least, since we want to leave it like that, at least that's the hope. So anyways, I end up removing the big part of the original river so that I have room to make more islands. I know that doesn't make much sense, but the rivers come a bit too big for the archipelago look that I'm going for on this island. So, you know, we take the river away so that we can build some more later. Then we ended up building more cliffs, of course. I changed the shape of the second cliff a couple of times here, but the main idea stayed the same. It goes from the right of the river to a cliff that was originally on the island close to the left beach. There's like a little chunk with evergreen trees on it. I leave an area in the middle for a walkway between the waterfalls for the Waterfall Walkway. And it's pretty small, but I like how it ends up a lot. I got inspiration for this build from Pinterest, I believe, so I'll put that on the screen here. Mine doesn't have as much water as theirs does on top because we put a path on the cliffs as well. I think theirs was just a lake or something, but it was really pretty, so yeah, I thought that'd be good on the archipelago island, make a little walkway between some waterfalls, you know. And then I waterscaped a small lake in front of the river mouth here and ended up putting a little island in the middle. Then we start shaping the waterfall. I like to have an idea of where the water is going to cascade, so I do those areas first before adding more water on top. I kind of think of it like a puzzle in that way, doing the corners and edge pieces first before filling it in. It's just easier, especially since I like to have the cliffs and water rounded off, so I make sure to leave enough room for some trial and error there. And now that the shape is getting close to done, I decided to put a waterfall in the middle of the island from earlier. I was originally going to do a bridge here, but I thought it would ruin the shape of the waterfalls. So I build a 3x4 cliff and put waterfalls on 3 sides of it, leaving room for like some flowers or maybe a hydrangea bush. And then I add some spots where you can jump from there to the other side of the river. And of course Diana is already sitting in front of the waterfall reading. With the Island Designer app on again, I make a river on the left side of the cliff with 2 waterfalls in each end of it. I then connect the back part of the cliffs to emphasize the walkway there so that I can put a path on the cliffs later on. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that's what we end up doing. I want there to be little waterfalls cascading into the walkway, but I still want you to be able to walk through there, so. So yeah, I also ended up putting some glowing moss on the jumping spots on the river like we saw in the last video in a random dream. I thought that it looks almost magical when you jump across since the moss, you know, glows. It's really pretty, especially at nighttime. But then I use a dirt version of the path in the middle of the cliffs, and if you want any of the custom designs that I use, I will have those linked in the description below. I made a little spreadsheet, so hopefully it's easy to find what you'd be looking for. And then back on the left side of the cliffs, I put down this green version of the path, which I really like since there's many different iterations of it. I mixed the plain version with some paths with planks on it. I think it's gonna look really good in different seasons as well when the grass starts to dull. And then I ended up taking a little break here and played a bit later on in the day, that's why it's dark. But I did that so that I could place an incline on the right side of the cliff. I ended up picking the stone one since I think it'll look the best by the museum. We already have a couple of natural ones, so I wanted to use a different one here, and I think the stone ones look really good by a bunch of water because they wouldn't deteriorate or get muddy or anything. So that was my line of thinking with that. We can always change it though. Then the next day, the incline is built, and I love how it looks, but then we had to go say goodbye to Patty. I'm sad to say goodbye, but we'll probably see her again sooner than later. I feel like I always see her on villager hunts and also on other people's islands, you know. She is one of the cuter farm core ones, so yeah, we'll see who we get to put on her little strawberry farm. Anyways, then I went and grabbed a bridge from Tom Nook. I was between the suspension bridge and the wooden bridge. I really like the suspension bridge, but I ended up picking the wooden one because I thought it would look the best from the bottom of the waterfall as well. I had to do some more terraforming to fit it up there, but I like how it's a bit offset from the waterfalls. I think I ended up lining it up with the waterfall on the little island so that it would look good if you're standing on top of that little spot there, if you jumped across the river and stood up there. But yeah, let me know if you don't like it. We can change it. I don't know. I did some terraforming after I after I placed it, which is kind of silly. You should really have the terraforming done before you place a bridge, but you know, it ended up working out. And then the next day you can see I made the waterfall a bit bigger than it was behind the bridge so that I could blend it in a bit more. So yeah, like I was saying, I did some more terraforming there. But I wanted to add another waterfall on top of that one, but then the game wouldn't let me. So yeah, it didn't end up working out. I don't know why I thought you could go up another level and then the level above that would be the one you couldn't do. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah. You can also see I added more of the dirt custom path to the right of the bridge. We use a lot of that path today. See, I'm using it here to the left of the bridge too, and at the bottom of the incline. And there's where I tried to go add more waterscaping, but I couldn't go on the cliffs there. So I got rid of that level of cliff altogether so that I could change the shape of the waterfall instead and make it a bit larger. And then I found a cute little nest custom design to put some decoy ducks on. I wish I had more space for custom designs. The little detail and filler ones like the nest and the puddle that we put around here are so adorable. Maybe I'll condense the green path down or something like that later on. Then I opened up the Island Designer app again and planted some fully grown trees I've been carrying around in my pocket somehow. I also put a decay tree in the middle of this little fairy circle on the green path or vine circle. I think it looks so cool with the moss on the tree as well. And then I even used the wooden stakes as fencing by the bridge. It helps a lot with this one spot that I couldn't really round out no matter how much I tried. It just ended up working out that way. And then I thought, since I'm planning on putting a house on those planks over there, that this area needed a log table with a tea party or something, so then I go grab a moving kit from Tom Nook as well as a natural incline. So when I finally checked my mail for the Orchid Mantis model from Flick and the gift from Gulliver, I wasn't disappointed because he ended up sending us a South Pole item, which I think would look cool on an ice or cold themed archipelago on an island. We'll probably get a penguin, or maybe we can put a wolf like Whitney over there. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. Honestly, the South Pole item kind of doesn't look like it should be in the game. Like, the graphics on it are a bit shinier than a lot of the other items. But you know, I'm still glad he didn't give us another piece of clothing. So I'll take it. Thank you, Gulliver. So we put those in storage for later. I don't end up using the Orchid Mantis model in this build. And then I start placing a few furniture items around the build. I made a swinging bench for Weber and put a tea set on the log table and a gnome that looks like he's pouring the tea. So cute. I also put a couch by the table, but I'm not sure if I want to leave it there or not, so let me know, since this video is so long with the waterfalls. I'm gonna have to do a part 2. But yeah, this is what the waterfall looks like. I really like how it looks from the island with the trees grown in. I'm also pretty happy with how the bridge looks. I personally really like asymmetry, so I like how it turned out. Then of course we have the waterfall from the left cliff connecting to the middle, and then with the walkway leading to a cute little vine ladder. I think that was pretty adorable. I was gonna do an incline, but I think a ladder works as well. And I think using the dirt custom path around makes this area more cohesive as well. And then changing the path from dirt to grass by Weber's house over there, which fits perfectly in a natural setting, by the way. I can't wait to see him waddling around up here. It's gonna be adorable with the decoy ducks around too. And he can also get down the natural incline now, which is good. I don't think the villagers can get from the stone incline to the other part of the cliff since you have to jump over the water. They might be able to get behind the cliffs, but I'm probably gonna decorate right there so they won't be able to walk there. So yeah, I like to have it so they're able to go around, especially if there's a house right there. I don't want to trap little Weber. I love the little duck, little lazy duck. Also, look how perfectly that balloon landed. I think I'll leave it since it was yellow, meaning it's probably Belle, so I won't be too curious to check it this time. I did end up opening the ones that landed on the entrance before. I think they were both clothing items, ironically, but yeah, anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe and let me know your ideas for decorating this space if you have any. I'm excited to do more building around Weber's house. But yeah, I hope that you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone!